Joe's Inner Child Podcast.
I just watched the trailer for, it's called Go, Don't Go, well, Go slash Don't Go, but Go,
Yeah.
Don't Go. I watched the trailer, but can we start off for people who haven't seen the trailer? Can you kind of give a description of the film from somebody who pretty much had a hand in every part of it?
Yeah, for sure. So GoDont Go is a genre-bending kind of psychological thriller about a wallflower who happens to be the last person alive, or so he thinks, and kind of a mix of a forgotten love story and inescapable paranoia for this character. And as he kind of descends into madness and tries to kind of maintain a grip on his sanity in this now empty world.
I've seen the trailer. I know there's other actors and actresses in the film,
Yeah.
but the whole idea, I'm guessing, because I haven't seen the movie yet, I'm guessing that anything that isn't him could be a part of what himself losing grip on reality. Correct.
Yeah, there's definitely elements of that, and kind of playing with this kind of magical realism. And there's a lot of flashbacks in the film. The present day with Adam, the main character, is kind of him alone as he's trying to kind of survive and exist in this new world. And other characters kind of oscillate back and forth into the story as the movie progresses, sometimes in flashbacks and sometimes in kind of strange visions or hallucinations, and you're not really sure what's real and what's not, and neither is Adam.
Nice. Now, I know you said this is genre bending, but what genre are you usually most comfortable with? Do you usually like to work with stuff that kind of teeters on multiple genres, or is there something specific that you like to, supernatural or something like that you like to jump onto, like subgenres of horror, things like that?
Yeah, I think what interests me is kind of like the movies that live within what would seem as like a pretty defined genre, and then kind of bring other elements of other things into it. Like I think like something like the movie Alien is like a perfect example. It's like it is kind of the penultimate creature feature, but it's also this sci-fi film, and it's also this kind of survivor drama. And it's kind of all of those things. And there's moments that are quiet and slow and tension building, and then there's moments where this creature is killing people, and then there's moments where they're in space and doing things with a ship and talking to an AI, and that's kind of, those are the films that I like. It's like it can kind of live in a multiple of these different genres and has elements of all of them that kind of work together.
Awesome. I wanted to know if you could, I know that you direct, write, act, probably produce. Can you kind of give a little explanation on what all your hand is in as far as the creation of Go Don't Go?
Yeah. So it is all of those things, and I did all of those things, and definitely had help along the way. I wrote the script, and then kind of once you have a script, you put your producer hat on, and you are meeting with investors and other producers and other people, and trying to get the project off the ground and building your crew, and when that starts to come into place, you kind of are becoming kind of a producer director, and you're handpicking people, and you're having castings, and you're figuring out how you're going to shoot it, and you kind of put all those pre-production pieces into place. And then with this particular project, it just so happened that it just kind of made sense from a few different perspectives for me to act in the film as well. There was a period where we were looking at other actors and had our lists, and we're doing that whole thing, but it just kind of ended up being a situation where myself and the other people involved thought that it was, were comfortable with me playing the role, and then yeah, on set, you're acting and directing, and obviously that's a challenge in itself because of how much I'm on camera and not behind the camera. But the real trick that I found was just surrounding myself with other super talented crew members and people that knew what they were doing. Our cinematographer Frankie Toriano has been a colleague of mine for about 10 years, and he's a director in his own right. Max Gardner, my producing partner, is a director, and Derek Brown, who was a producer with us and also did some camera work for us, was there through the whole thing, and he's a great commercial director. So I was able to kind of rely on these other people that would be behind the camera when I was in front of it, and as long as we were kind of all on the same page, and kind of tapped into each other's heads about what I was looking for, then it kind of ended up working out.
Now, does the film launch this month?
Today. It releases today. Yeah, Tuesday, January 12th. It officially came out today. Yeah, we've been doing it's been on for pre-order on iTunes and Vimeo for the last 3 weeks or so. And then today it releases on VOD platforms and cable on demand platforms. So iTunes, Amazon Prime, Vudu, Comcast, Verizon, Google Play, PlayStation Store, Microsoft, all the standard spots.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on getting that out today. I wasn't sure which day it was happening. I am curious. So if it drops today, I know that everything's been going on with the pandemic and kind of delaying everything. When did this project initially begin? When did you initially come up with this idea? And can you kind of give me like a timeline of when it was filmed versus it actually being released now?
Yeah, this idea I had been kicking around for a long time. I actually kind of came up with just the bare bones initial idea and vibe probably about 5 years ago. And then about 4 years ago, me and a couple colleagues actually shot a little kind of teaser trailer for the kind of genesis skeleton of what this was. And that ended up being part of our pitch packet to get the film developed and get investing for the film. And then we went into principal production about 2.5 years ago. And we shot for about a month and then went into post-production for about a year and a half. We had our world premiere on the festival circuit at the San Francisco Independent Film Festival last February 1st. So literally this time last year, we had our world premiere, and we played a handful of festivals and it was looking really great. And then March rolled around and everything kind of came to a standstill. And that definitely changed things and kind of delayed some things for us. It was a little scary there just because, of the momentum that we thought we had built. There was a bunch of really great festivals that we were excited to play in person that either canceled or postponed or went virtual. And so that kind of changed some things for us. And then, but luckily, through that process, we kind of kept communicating with people, and inevitably Kamikaze Dogfight, kind of a new distributor, got linked up with us and watched the film and were super interested. And they had just inked a deal with Gravitas, a partnership with Gravitas to acquire and distribute films. And so that kind of all came together in the summer, in like June, July. And then we put pen to paper and we kind of started working on the rollout of the film. And now here we are in the new year, and it's out in the world.
Literary Joe's Inner Child Podcast.